Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Jalal Ahmad, and in this tutorial we are going to learn how to use css3 for multiple backgrounds. So css3 use before going to the tutorial, going towards the tutorial, let me tell you that I have taken the HTML page which includes nothing but an h1 tag, and it's centered, which is centered by the center tag. This is the source code of the page, and let me take the start. I will use body to style and use the background image property for taking the backgrounds, that is URL, and let me use this picture. I have it in the same directory. Let me show you what it do. That is, the red star image has covered the whole background color and it is repeated. So if I use the background repeat property, and before using this background repeat property, let me tell you how can we use multiple images for backgrounds using the old background image property with css3. So write a comma, and in the same way write the URL and use another picture here, that is bluestar.png is another picture with me, and let me show you nothing is happening. The reason behind this is that all the pictures I use here, I can use another picture and use another picture, and similarly you can use as many pictures as you want. So the reason behind that the first image is only viewable to the user and the second image is not. The reason is that all the images you write in here, you use as your backgrounds, will store here in the form of a stack, in which the first image is only viewable to the user, which is the closest one to the user, to the viewer, that is, and the second image behind disappears behind the first, and similarly the third image disappears behind the second one, and the fourth one disappears behind the third one, and same way it's going on. Let me show you, repeat property, that is no repeat. If I use no repeat, so what no repeat will do, no repeat will apply to all the images which you have written in here. So no repeat applies now to all the images. That is, now it's not the thing that it's only the red image and the blue image is not in here, the second image is not in here. It's in here, but it is disappearing behind the first one, and let me prove it. That is no repeat. If I use the repeat x property, you will see the second image will repeat in the x direction, and that's you can see in here. So the when second image repeats in x axis, it comes to this end, but it is behind covering it is disappearing behind the first image, and it's not viewable in here in this area where the first image exists. So let me position the images. Background position property, that is, I will use the top left. What the top left will do, it's the default value. The top left applies to both of the pictures, to all of the pictures in here which are in here. So in the same way I will use comma, and after comma the second property will apply to the second image, and I will use top and right. So what will it do, this image will be positioned in this position, and this image will be positioning in this position in the top right corner. Let me save, and you can see now it starts from here. The image starts from here. In that case it was starting from here, because the first and second image was having the same position, but now it is having this position, the top right position. The second image has the top right position and the first image has the top left position, and it starts from here, and when it comes to the first image, it disappears behind the first image. And same is the reason that the first image is closest to the viewer. Okay, let me do it as no repeat, and let me do it as repeat X. So you will now notice the change. Let me know why. Okay, why repeat X and no repeat. Repeat X and no repeat. Okay, the reason is that the first image is most same is the reason. The first image is only viewable to the user, but when the second image comes behind it, it is not viewable to the user. And in the same way, the second image is in here, but it is disappearing behind the first image. When I use this property for second image, you will see that the first image does exist in here, but it is not viewable to the user. And the reason is, I'm telling you again and again, same is the reason. Okay, when I use the first, let me use a third one image. I'm just playing with these properties. URL and brown star.png is another picture. I will use it at the center, and you will see the repeat property which is used for this image is also taken by the browser for this image, for the third image. And when I use and one thing you will notice in here, the first image covers the second image in here, and the second image covers the third image in here. And similarly, if I use the fourth picture, the fourth picture will be covered by this third one picture. And it's a proof of that. I told you in the start of the tutorial that it becomes in the form of a stack. Okay, there is a shorthand property for all these properties, that is only use the background and write URL. And let me clear all these. Just write the URL, and in URL use a picture redstar.png, and you will notice the change. And use now in here the property without using commas, and you will now no repeat. Let me use all at once. No repeat and top left. Yes, now no repeat and the top left position has been assigned to the first image. And if you want to use the second image, just write a comma after all the properties you use for one picture. Now after comma, use the same URL, bluestar.png. You can see it's repeating, which is by default, and it's disappearing behind the first image. And also it is it's taking its start by the default corner, that is the left top left corner, but it is disappearing behind the first image. URL and no repeat and top right corner, you will see it in here. And similarly you can use the third one, but do it yourself. I'm leaving it for your practice purpose. And hope you guys have learned something new with this tutorial. If you like my video, please leave your comments and hit like button and subscribe my channel. Thanks for now.